Thank you, Gilles. Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Wafa, and I'm the Business Development Executive at the British Chamber of Commerce for Morocco, and I will be serving as your moderator for this webinar, Partnership Opportunities with Phosphate Producer OCP Group, organized by the British Chamber of Commerce for Morocco. Before we start, I would like to go over our agenda today. The first presentation is from OCP Group panelists, Mr. Hisham and Mr. Nabil, who will discuss the investment plan, business opportunities, and procurement process. With us as well from OCP Group, Mr. Salahuddin, who will be replying to your questions at the end of this session. Followed by the second presentation of UK Export Finance team, Mr. Vomik and Mr. Steve, who will provide an overview of the support they can give to UK companies. And the last session will be dedicated to question and answer. So let's start with our first panelist, Mr. Hisham from OCP Group for the next 30 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Hisham Jarrar. I am in charge of project controls for the OCP Industrial Development Program. So I am very happy to present you today our program. So first of all, we are now in a kind of logic of transformation. So the key messages for this transformations are first that the phosphate is a key element for sustaining life for the plants. Also, we know that we need to feed the soil to feed the planet. So we need definitely the fertilizers for that. Also, we have a strategy based on a global integrated phosphate producer. So we are present in in all the supply chain. So in the rock, in the phosphoric acid, and in the fertilizers, different type of fertilizer, and also some feeds for the animals. We are in a high added value industry, and of course we are doing all this in a sustainable way. So first of all, why we are investing. So the fundamentals behind this initiative, why we are investing a huge money in developing our capacity and diversifying our products, is that we know that the arable lands are declining now. So there will be an 80% increase in global crop production by 40 years, which means in 2015. So these are facts. And the only way we have today, because we have a limitation of arable land, the only way we have to feed the planet is to increase the yield. So you have the visual on your right hand. So we know that we need to increase the yield by plus 77%, and mainly based on using fertilizers. So that's why we are investing in increasing our capacity and diversifying our products to reply to this huge demand. So here you have some key dates from since the beginning, since the creation of OCP in 1920 up to date. So in recently in 2008, we have launched this capital expenditure about 200 billion MAD. And also in 2010, we have created a joint venture with the Jacobs Engineering in order to manage all this program, but also in order to do the engineering and manage the construction for all the projects we have launched since yet. And there is also other GVs, like with the joint venture with the DuPont. And now after 8 years, we have already started many projects. So projects that were in construction now are in production. And we are today working on diversifying and developing new products. We will see this in details later on. Yes. So in order to achieve this, we have a strategy, an industrial strategy, which is based on 3 main pillars. So cost leadership, so because we are a country blessed by the most important reserve of phosphate reserve in the world. We have, according to some independent reviews, some independent institution, we have more than 80% of the world reserve in Morocco, and mainly in Khribga mine and in the Bukra, in Khribga mine and in Gantour mine. And in the southern region of Morocco, we have about 2% of this national reserve. So we have this ability to be very competitive in terms of cost. Also, our strategy is based on increasing the capacity and being more flexible to adapt to the market fluctuations. And there is a foundation. The main foundation of all this is to do all this in a sustainable way. Here you have a global overview of what is the scope of our project. So we have a strategy, but this strategy is declined on a kind of program of projects. So on your on the left side, you have all the new mines and beneficiation plants. So by this program, by the end of this program, we will have an additional capacity of mining about 25 million ton per year. So mainly in Khribga, in Gantour, and also in Msqala. We have also new rock beneficiation plants. So 3 in Khribga. Khribga is the biggest mine in Morocco. We will add an additional beneficiation plant in Gantour and also in Msqala later on, and one in Laayoune. Today we have, for example, for this beneficiation plant, we have the RFQ, the requisition for quotation are now launched on the website for this beneficiation plant of Laayoune. Also, we are now using a cutting-edge technology of transportation. So we already started in 2014 transportation of phosphate using a slurry pipeline, linking Khribga mine to Jorf. Jorf is the chemical complex on the west of Morocco, with a length about 183 kilometers between the two regions. We have a project of a second pipeline that will link Gantour mine to the Safi complex, and we are for the chemical complexes we are using a design of a plug and play, which means that we can add a plant whenever we want, and we can just plug and play it with the existing facilities, but also we can expand our facilities to reply to the increase in the capacity. So we already did one in Jorf Phosphate Hub, what we call GPH of Jorf Phosphate Hub. We have a project of SPH, which is the Safi Phosphate Hub, and we have now Phosphocra chemical complex, which is now on the engineering phase. So here you have the Morocco map. So we are. So in the north of Morocco we have the Northern Axis program of about 128 billion MAD. And in the central, we have the Central Axis program of 55 billion MAD. And in the Southern Axis program, we have a program, a capex of 17 billion MAD. So these are our program, industrial program in Morocco. So we have a roadmap. So this 200 billion MAD will not be expanded on one shot, but there is a roadmap to reply to the demand. So we are increasing, we are investing, we are expanding money to increase our capacities according to the market fluctuation and according to the demand evolution. So here you have the example of the northern axis. So on your right hand, we are aiming to double, by the end of the program, we will double the capacity of the existing mine. So we have 2 new mines and 3 new washing plants. And on your on the left side of the slide, we have by the end of this program, we will triple the capacity, but also we are aiming to increase our flexibility by 2 fertilizer plants, which are now on production since 2013. We have also 4 units of integrated fertilizers. So what we call the ODIs. I think there is a lot of articles about these ODIs in the internet. So at the end of the program, we will reach 10 integrated fertilizer integrated units. But now we have 4 under construction. So these, you have the mine on the right side, and the chemical complex on the left side, and they are linked by the slurry pipeline, which enable us to lower the cost of transportation, knowing that the traditional way of transportation between the mine and the chemical plant is using trains. So it's a discrete mode. Now we are on a continuous mode of transportation. So here you have a more detailed view about the plug-and-play logic, which aims to mutualize all the logistics of utilities in order to serve the valorization. What we call the valorization is the chemical transformation. So we receive in the chemical plant, we receive the slurry pipeline. We have some raw materials like ammonia, like sulfur, and we use it to produce different types of fertilizers. So we have here like a mother card of a computer, and we can plug and play with this facilities each time we want to increase our capacity. So, for example, we have a new unit of 1 million ton of fertilizers. We can just tie it to the existing facilities, to the existing utilities, and increase capacity. So this layout, this jar of phosphate hub is designed to receive 10 units of 1 million ton each one. Okay. Yeah. So for the sustainable development, we have 3 main streams. So first, we are designing all this program. We designed it, and we are still designing for the next phases all this program to preserve the deposits. So the technologies now we are using mainly the flotation, the reverse flotation process is enabling us to save 30%, or in other words, is to increase the lifetime of the deposit by 30%. Come up with. And also once we finish with the land, we extract the phosphate. We have a rehabilitations program mainly by planting trees. So for the water stream, so we are using very advanced technologies in terms of consumption optimization in all the processes we are using right now. We are not using we are minimizing the use of groundwater, and we are developing alternatives for industrial use, like the wastewater treatment, the adduction of the dam water, so bringing water from the dams, the nearest dams, and also the seawater desalination. So for the energy, knowing that we use, in order to produce our fertilizer, we use the sulfuric acid, and to produce the sulfuric acid, we have excess of energy. So we use this excess of energy to run our desalination plants. So here you have some real examples. These are projects already started. So of using non-conventional water sources. So you have the what we call the step of Yusufia, so with a capacity of 2.7 million cubic meters per year, started in 2015. Also the step in the mine of Bengrir of a capacity of 2.6 million cubic meters per year, started also in 2015. We have also in our biggest mine in Morocco, Ribga, we have units of 5 million cubic meters per year capacity, started since 2010. And also in 2016, early 2016, we started the first phase of our desalination units with a capacity of 25 cubic meters per year. So this unit is expandable to reach 75 million cubic meters per year. So the first phase is 25. We will add another 10 cubic meters, and after that we will reach, by the third phase, we will reach 75 cubic meters. This water is to serve all the processes needed on the Jorf site, to Jorf site, because we have excess of electricity, and also in order to preserve the water and give the privilege of using water to the agriculture, to the cities, not using the water for the industry, but let the existing water to the agriculture. So here you have examples of the Jorf site already started. So this is the supply chain already started with the new projects. So we have on the top left, top right side, you have the water from the dam, and we already did projects for the distribution, for the adduction, bringing water, and the distribution of water to different units in Ribga mine. So we have the Dawi beneficiation plant. We also started the beneficiation plant of Meha, of Beni Amir. So these are beneficiation plant. What we call beneficiation is the washing plant, washing and the reverse flotation. Of course, we need utilities like, for instance, the electricity. So there was a very important project to increase the electricity capacity in the mine. Then these beneficiation plants are feeding now the head station of the pipeline, and the head station is feeding the pipeline of a distance of 183 kilometers to feed the terminal station in Jorf site on the west side of Morocco. So this terminal station will feed each fertilizer unit in Jorf. So you have here the two granulation units already started in 2013. So both on the left side. Also, we have achieved the line E, what we call the line E, which is the first phosphoric units that use the pipeline, that use the slurry, the phosphate coming from the slurry pipeline. Now, between 2015 and 2016, we have started the two units, what we call Jorf fertilizers complex 1, or because it is used for the fertilizer for Africa, we call it the Africa fertilizer complex, and we have already started just in last month the granulation for the second unit. Each unit is 1 million ton per year capacity. Now for the central access program, so it is in the study phase, so not yet on the procurement phase, the engineering procurement phase. We are in the feasibility studies, and we are designing all the mixed products, what will be as a product for the units we're gonna build in this central access. Right. Here you have the main scope of the central access. So we have first Al Masira pipeline water. So now this Al Masira pipeline water is now on construction. So soon it's going to be ready for the production. But we are bringing the water not only for the program, but also we are bringing the water for the existing facilities we have in Gantor. For the mine, we're gonna open a new mine, or are gonna expand the existing mine, and also the existing 2 mines we have in Gantor. For the beneficiation, we have a washing plant. We have a plan for building a washing plant in Bengrir and another washing plant in New Sofia. We will build a pipeline, or construct a pipeline between Gantor and the chemical plant of Safi. For the valorization, we will have the same design as in Jorf, but different mixed products. We will have the sulfuric acid plant, phosphoric acid plant, granulation, and different other types of fertilizers. For the SPH, we are planning to design the SPH as also a plug and play system in order to be flexible in terms of increasing the capacities. And there is the port of Safi for both scopes, infrastructure and superstructure, which is now on the construction phase. For the Southern Access Program, it's about 17 billion MAD. We have the main projects are the storage area, which is right now on the construction phase, very advanced in terms of construction phase. We have also a beneficiation plant, so there will be a new unit of washing plant and flotation, reverse flotation, and with a new storage. So for this, for example, we have launched the requisition for quotation. So it's in the procurement phase. We have also the valorization, which include two main scopes. So the first scope is about inputs, materials, and utilities, but also transferring the finished product to the port. So what we call the inside battery limit and outside battery limit. So there will be seawater, pumping, desalination and distribution, utility storage, and so on. Also the gypsum disposal and the outside battery limit. For the processes we're gonna have in Laayoune, there will be the sulfuric acid plant, the phosphoric acid plant, and the granulation. And there is some other processes behind the sulfuric acid plant. For example, we have everything related to the melting sulfur, for example, melting sulfur process. And finally, we have the ports, so 2 main scopes, so the infrastructures and superstructures. The RFQs already launched, and we're gonna soon award the contract to the main contractor who will build the ports. Thank you.
Good morning all, I'm Nabil Harani from the purchasing department, and now in the second part we're going to see the procurement process and how to have the access to those business opportunities. First of all, we have an information to share with you is all our purchases in OCP are classified per categories, and we have 15 categories and subcategories, about 170 subcategories. But the main categories, we have environment and security, engineering, civil work, social, facility management, mining plants, chemical plants, handling, and so on, and you have on the screen. And the second information is all the tenders are available from a single hub, and it's open tenders. All the suppliers worldwide could have access to those tenders and to participate. Mm-hmm. In the second slide, we can see here the process of the purchasing procurement process, and it starts by the first step is the lists of the OCP tenders introduced by purchases from all the OCP sites and plants. And after that, all the suppliers have the possibility to send their expression of interest for one or many tenders. And after that, we internally analyze those answers, and we shortlist the eligible suppliers. We have two cases. If the supplier is not matching the criteria, we have an automatic alert sent automatically to the supplier to notify them and to explain the reason why they are not matching the criteria. If it's okay, after that, the shortlisted and eligible supplier, they receive all the documents for the tenders with the specifications and what OCP need. And after that, we open the technical and the commercial bids in order to have the award of those tenders. And it's very easy. You have one and unique hub. The link, we have two possibilities to have the link from the direct link that we have there, the portal opportunity.ocp.ma, or via the homepage of the suppliers portal, and you have here the screenshots. We have a support. We have a support. Here we have an email where you can all the suppliers send their requests or technical difficulties, and it's very interactive and reactive. Here we have the screenshot. It's very easy to use. You choose the activity or the category, and the system gives you all the tenders available on the e-supply. Here you have the second screenshots. You have in detail for each category the 5 or the tenders list with the limit of the day to respond, to send the answer. And for expression of the interest, it's very easy. You have two parts. The first part is the qualification grid, and is in this part all the suppliers should put their data and information, like the financial statements, insurance certifications, and so on. And it could be done once and updated from time to time by the supplier, because the supplier who is the responsible of this part to update the information. And the second part is the technical grid. This technical grid is for each tender and is specific to each tender. And the supplier should answer some questions in order to give us information. It's filled for every opportunity. And we ask some question like similar references, capacity, the safety policies, and previous incidents. Thank you very much, and thank you for.
Thank you, Nabil and Hisham. Now it's time to our second presentation from UK Export Finance team for the next 15 minutes.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you very much for that. Hello, everyone. This is Vomik Lou Shah. I'm here with my colleague Steve Crossley. We work in the UK Export Finance's business development group, and our principal responsibilities are on a regional basis, including North Africa. I will pass on to my colleague Steve in a second to just run through the few slides that we have. But as you would have heard from the executives from the OCP side, this is an interesting project. I think we are quite keen to monitor and proactively be involved in situations like these. I'm sure many of you would have come across and worked with UK export finance in the past. But we believe there are opportunities for the UK supply chain here, and we would like to provide support that we can. So with that, let me pass on to Steve. Steve.
Okay. Hi. Thanks very much, Vomit. That's great. Yeah, quite clearly a lot of opportunities there for us to be involved. Good morning, everybody. My name's Steve Crosley. I work with UK Export Finance in the International Business Development Division with VOMIC. There are quite a few slides, and there's quite a lot of words on them, so my plan will be to sort of summarise them a little bit every now and again, so just bear with me. UK Export Finance, our mission. Our mission is to ensure that no viable UK export fails for lack of... Somebody's going to have to change the slide. That's fantastic. Okay, for lack of finance or insurance from the private sector. Our role is actually fairly simple. It is that we are here to support UK exporters and for them to win export contracts, to fulfil their orders by supporting working capital loans, and basically to get paid by insuring against any buyer defaults. To help us do this, we work very hard and very closely with our colleagues in the new Department of International Trade, Treasury, Foreign Office, the Posts, sector specialists to help support the government in its aspirations to improve our level of exports that we support. Okay, a little bit about us. Some of you may know us a little bit better as ECGD, Export Credits Guarantee Department. We still are legally ECGD, but we were rebranded fairly recently. So we are the UK's Export Credit Agency. So, for example, like COFAS, France, Hermes, Germany, and EDC, Canada. We have been around a heck of a long time, established in 1919, so we're due a birthday, 100 years in a few years' time. We are the world's first ECA. I think a key point here on this slide is that we complement the export efforts rather than compete with. So it's important to remember that we will only really step in where banks won't. We don't cost the taxpayer any money, but we do charge a premium. We have won quite a few awards, which is great. Certainly Trade and Export Finance News has rewarded us for our efforts in the past. And as I said before, we help UK companies win contracts for full export orders and be confident they will get paid. Another key point to mention at this stage is that the most important thing is that we do require 20% UK content in any transaction that we support. Okay, one of the key things we do is that we provide overseas buyers with attractive financing, and that's basically guaranteed loans that will attract UK government risk, so hopefully competitive interest rates. And we provide this support through us, Vomik and me, and a few others here are part of the International Business Development Team, and we take quite a lot of the initial inquiries to the organisation. We also provide guarantees to banks lending to overseas buyers, hopefully for them to be attracted to UK suppliers. We can also lend directly to overseas buyers. We have our own funds, our own budget, quite a large budget, which is managed by a panel of banks, so very positive. Most of this sort of support is really aimed at the larger contracts, so more than 5 million, so we're up in the hundreds. We also help exporters fulfill their contracts. So if you were a UK company and you were beginning to become a little bit more successful and you wanted to expand and buy more of your exports and you wanted to export overseas, we would be prepared to help and guarantee a bank in terms of providing working capital. We would do all this by providing export finance guidance. We have a regional network of export finance advisors, and they would be more than happy to step in and talk to the UK company. We provide guarantees to UK companies' banks, who therefore will allow more working capital to be provided, and we can also support contract bonds, advance payment performance bonds, which will hopefully free up more finance for exporters to expand. As I've mentioned before, I just should add that this support is probably more relevant to the small and medium exporters, and we have this network of regional advisors that can help here. Okay, one of the challenging things, one of the things that most exporters beginning to delve into exports will say is, well, you know, I want to make sure I'm going to get paid. So that's quite important. So we have a range of products that will help here. Our export insurance policy is there to help. Our letter of credit guarantee scheme too, and our bond insurance policies all help to make sure the exporter gets paid. Now this is our big ticket item. This is the area where we provide most support in terms of exporters. It's key to supporting projects in the sense that there are large projects, and we will be providing loans to overseas buyers. Sometimes the loans can be pretty long, so up to 10 years, but sometimes even longer, up to 18 years, and we provide 100% unconditional guarantees for the bank to lend that money. And we hope that, of course, attracts the overseas buyers to the UK. Again, I reiterate the 20% UK content requirement. It's extremely important. We wouldn't be existing unless we were providing a return to the UK. Finance is for 85% of the contract value, and it includes any financing in a range of currencies. And the advantage of this is that the buyer gets extended payment terms and can pay back over a long period of time, while the exporter is much more comfortable in that he or she will be getting payment as the goods are shipped or against milestones in the initial contract, so they will be sure about getting paid. We're also prepared to be fairly flexible, and we can provide support which includes Islamic financing. Okay, none of this is going to be for nothing, so there is a premium charge. We do charge for our services. I can't give you any real idea of the cost of that because it's all done on a case-by-case basis. We stick with the OECD in terms of the benchmark rates that they set amongst 34, 35 countries in that group. And basically the premium is calculated on things like the country itself, the credit risk, and how long the loan is going to be for, and the repayment terms. The premium can be paid up front or partially financed, and we're quite happy to think and consider about rolling that up into the loan. Okay, how do you get to us? There are a number of ways, and based on what I've been talking about in terms of us, obviously through us, but for exporters through banks and brokers, through the network of regional advisors that I have mentioned, and you can get that list on our website. Other government departments quite often phone us and tell us that they want us to speak to somebody, and our website is there. And additionally, there's obviously us again, and through embassies, and again the website. But I would reiterate that you can always contact us, given the emails that are at the back of this slideshow after the webinar. Okay. I can't actually move. Here we go. the good news is, now I can say it, having not been able to move the slide, is that for Morocco, we are fully open for cover across all the sectors, and we're really quite happy to, as you see, quite a large number there to provide a lot of support. So we're happy with the risk there, and we would be more than happy to consider anything in terms of what is put to us, provided the due diligence is done correctly. And just as a little summary, a little overview of what I've been talking about, just to re-emphasize the idea that we complement the private sector in the support we provide. We do a range of things that support, easily described by splitting into products that help the exporter, and then some products that help the overseas buyer hopefully choose the UK in terms of their suppliers. We're more than happy to talk to anybody at a very, very early stage, because obviously exporting is still something that is fraught with some concerns depending on the countries concerned. And as I've said, we do work very closely with colleagues in the Foreign Office. We have good contacts in most countries where we can talk to them about what possible projects there are. And obviously the Department for International Trade is a huge support for us here in London and elsewhere. Our financing, we've got it on the slide there. We think it's a good alternative source of funding. We think it's very flexible in terms of the 20% I mentioned, and there are loans that really can go out quite a long way, which really helps in terms of winning projects, and the funding costs are relatively low and competitive. So I think that's probably best left there, and again, contact me and Vomic. If anybody wants to email us afterwards or ask questions or phone us, then we'd be more than welcome to take those calls or emails. And thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Steve and Vomic, for your presentations. And we are now going to begin answering the questions that have been submitted so far during today's presentation. But firstly, please do let me apologise for the loss of audio that some of you experienced during the presentation. And our first question here is from Richard. Richard is asking, what are the contracting modes OCP is using?
Yes, for the contracting modes, we are very flexible. So we have turnkey contracts, but also we have reimbursable contracts. And we are, for turnkey, we can hire mainly GESA to do the procurement and management of construction. And if it is multi-lots projects, we do the EPCM mode, so the engineering, procurement, construction management. So for contracting, contracting modes, we are very open. So any company are welcome to work with us, and we can discuss on the contracting modes. And because we have now almost 1 century in terms of expertise in the field of phosphates and in the field of basic phosphate fertilizers, we believe that we have enough expertise. And we encourage the multi-lots and the EPCM modes, but we are open if we have enough detail and enough understanding of the scopes. We encourage also the turnkey contracting modes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And our next question here from George. George is asking, in the e-supply, do we have only the CapEx tenders?
As I explained in my presentation, it's only focused on the CapEx program, but in the e-supply we have all the type of tenders, and it could be equipment, services, and so on. And it's all day-to-day tenders and also CapEx tenders. So,
yes, in addition to what said my colleague Nabi, we have the capex related to this industrial development program, which is the massive capex we are investing in. Also, we have the operation and maintenance capex. So the existing facilities, the existing units need from time to time kind of renovation, kind of revamping. So we also invest in terms of maintaining these existing units, and we have all the consumptions, the spare parts for maintenance. So we have a large types of tenders presently supplier.
And to facilitate to the suppliers, we have, that's why we have the classification per categories, and you can search per categories, and also in the system you can activate automatic notification, and every time you have a new tender in the system, the supplier could be notified in order to enter the system and to check the new tenders.
Thank you very much. And a question for either Steve or Vomic. Is UKEF part of DIT?
Yes, it is part of DIT, but we still remain a separate UK government with our own minister. So we are certainly part of the whole of that group, but we still remain a separate department.
Thank you very much. And question here from Zoe. In relation to open tenders on the OCP website, can niche companies offer their services that would either provide the same standard or improved standard for water and fertilisation quality when compared to chemical plants?
Yes, of course, all the suppliers could participate to those tenders. In the expression of interest, I explained, we have two parts. The one condition is to match the criteria and to have the capacity to answer to those tenders. This is the only one condition, and
qualification and technical grades.
Qualification and technical grades. It's open to all the suppliers.
Thank you. And a question here on environmental standards. Are there any other new environmentally friendly technologies to become more sustainable, cost-effective, and more reliable forms of treatment?
Yes. We encourage any new technologies to improve our environmental friendly processes. So we are open to any technologies. We need to follow only the process. So once, for example, for a specific project, we hire an engineering company. So the engineering company will work together. So it depends on for this company, the company who's offering this new technology. If the company will do the basic design, or can also do the detailed design to the equipment, to the manufacturing. So we can consider any proposal, and we can build a package through it. So if, for example, a company who's providing a new technology in terms of environment, yes, we can see, and if it is an specific equipment, we can see how it can fit with our processes. If it is a package of engineering, we can also consider it.
Thank you. And a question regarding the portals. Is it available in English and French, or only in French?
Technically, we have it's in French, and we have also the functions in English, and but inside we have the most specifications are in French, but for the CAPEX program, all the specs are in English. But the chamber could help you for a first step in the day-to-day tenders. So the platform is in English and French.
Thank you. And a question here again for Steve or Vomek. I've heard that non-UK companies can apply for UK EF support. Is this true?
Yeah, our legislation changed a little bit to basically become more flexible. So provided the key part is that in any transaction we provide support for, that there is 20% return to the UK, we can consider that sort of support.
Thank you very much, Steve. And another question for you both from Stanislas. He's asking, could you tell us what the cost of insurance is?
A very difficult question. It's an obvious question for somebody to ask, but in terms of the products, there are certain fees to pay for the one-off products for exporters. And I think it really needs a conversation about that. And when we're talking about the much longer and bigger deals, which will where a premium will be involved, that will basically depend very much on the length of the credit terms and the loan. It will depend upon the country and the risks involved. So it's quite a hard question to answer, but more than happy to take any question later on if we want to explore a particular type of product that the individual is interested in.
Thank you very much, Steve. And moving on to our next question here from Zoe. Zoe's asking, regarding the automatic alerts that are sent to the supplier if they're not matching, what governs this? Does a technical person look into the EOIs, or is it an automated based on keywords?
No, the automatic alert is done after having an internal commission. It's not automatic like a robot system, but we have people behind who study all the answers, and after having the decision to according to the criteria, we put the reason on those automatic alerts. The automatic, it means it's systematically having an alert. It doesn't mean a robot response.
Thank you very much. And our next question here from Stephen. Stephen is asking, please could OCP expand on the transportation requirements for the Southern Access development? Will there be a slurry pipeline between the mine and port?
Yeah. So for the Southern Access, the transportation mode will be by a belt conveyor. So let's say we don't have the luxury of using this slurry pipeline because of lack of water there. So we prefer to transport using a belt conveyor.
Thank you. And a question here from John. Which category would the manufacturer of steel fabrication of equipment such as storage tank, pipework, transfer chutes and hopper fall into on the OCP e-supply site?
The categories concerned are industrial and mechanical construction, and also in the chemical plants. You have inside some equipments from manufactured of the from steel mining plants, yeah, and mining plants. So three categories: industrial and mechanical constructions, chemical plants, and mining plants.
Thank you. And Another question here from John on the back of that last question, asking, has the manufacture of the slurry pipework tender already been awarded?
Not yet. So for the northern access, the slurry pipeline is already achieved and now it's operating. So for the second slurry pipeline, which is in the central access, it's not yet. It's in the study phase. So all the central access program is in the study phase, except some what we call the non-regret moves. Like for example, the adduction of water from the dam in the central axis. So these are under construction, but the whole central access program is still in the study phase. So not yet awarded.
Thank you. And a question here from Peter. Peter's company already supply vibrating screens and dewatering screens and feeders to the mines for the OCP Group. As they only supply part of the tender and not the complete turnkey project, can they still be considered, or would they have to work with the companies who offer the turnkey packages?
I think, to answer to this question, it depends of the capex, the amount of the project. For some project for which the OCP has technology or has know-how, he prefer to not have a turnkey project. But if there is a turnkey, for example, if for power plant, in general OCP do turnkey project for power plant, okay? And for power plant, for example, of course, TG supplier, condenser supplier, they have to be in touch with the turnkey supplier, of course. But for example, for a washing plant or for sulfuric plant, it is in general in EPCM, and we can buy equipment directly from the companies. But when, for example, for the thickening slurry plant, it is done by a big company which called FLS Smith. But other companies make some equipment like tanks, like pipes. It depends of which kind of project itself.
Yes, in addition to what Fakhr said, so if the contract is with OCP, so the company need to discuss with OCP. If the contract is with the contractor of OCP, they need to discuss with the contractor, the main contractor of OCP. So this is the difference. So we have the tenders that are on our portal. They are directly with OCP. But when we, as a client, when we contract a main contractor, for example, for a turnkey project, so we ask in the contract, we ask our contractor to buy some of the equipments for us. So, for example, this company, in this case, need to discuss with our contractor as a subcontractor of our contractor.
Thank you. And being conscious of time, we'll just try to fit in another 2 or 3 questions here. And the first one of those from Joshua. Joshua is asking, what is OCP's appetite for utilising finance from UKEF to procure packages, and what would be the mechanism for UK companies to leverage this through the e-supplier open tender process?
So, yeah?
I think using the finance from UKEF is one of the things that facilitates and encourage the UK companies to enter the Moroccan market. And for us, for OCP, we also encourage, we want to have the UK companies competing on our tenders, because our tenders are worldwide, and we encourage the UK companies and suppliers to come to know the Moroccan market, to know the the opportunities in Morocco and to work together in order to have the innovation and the technology and to share that with our business.
To complete the answer of Mr. Nabil, I can say that UKF can go in touch with our financial direction, OCP, and can discuss more in detail this question of possibility of financing.
Thank you. And a question here from Phil. Are the operators of the Desal plant responsible for their own chemical purchases, or do OCP source the best product?
It's our personnel, OCP personnel who pilot the desalination plants. It is not done by another company. It's OCP personnel, operators.
Thank you. And moving to, being conscious of time, I know we've overrun slightly, but moving to our last question from Raoul. For the Central Access Programme, tenders related to HSE engineering studies are not provided in the e-supply portal yet. Are they going to be available soon?
What is meant by HSE the tenders? Because
the health and safety executive, HSE.
For example, for DCE and fire, for fire. I think it's not yet.
For the HSE, we have a joint venture with Jacobs. So we also involve Jacobs Engineering of UK in terms of engineering. So for all the engineering, especially in the early study phase, it's done by Jacobs Engineering, our joint venture. So at this early stage, we are not involving other companies, except that we can, for example, from time to time, we ask for some expertise from UK, from USA, from Australia. This is it for this stage. But HSE engineering studies is it's done mainly in Jacobs Engineering Morocco.
Thank you. And I'd just like to hand back to Wafa for her closing remarks before we end the webinar.
Thank you, Gilles. We're coming to an end of this webinar. So on behalf of the British Chamber of Commerce for Morocco, I would like to thank all our presenters, the attendees, and we wish to see you again next time. And have a good day.
Thank you very much. Once you leave the webinar, you will receive a survey on the presentation. It's just 3 really quick questions. So we would appreciate it if you could keep your browser window open and complete that and provide your feedback for us. You will, as we mentioned, also receive a follow-up email within 24 hours, which will include a link to view a recording of today's webinar. On behalf of the British Chamber of Commerce for Morocco and our presenters, thank you for joining us, and please do enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.